In this video, we'll be seeing about the multiple antenna transmission reception. So, by going for multiple antenna transmission reception, what we are going to achieve is, even though if we are going to send a number of signals are going to be transmitted, at the reception side, there is going to be no fading of the signals. That is, we can recover the signal with high signal to noise ratio. For that, we go for multiple antenna transmission and reception there. So the basic concept of diversity is we are going to transmit this signal via several independent branches. So here in this case, when I am going to transmit to several independent diversity branches to get the independent signal replicas at the receiver side. So here we have we can do it either using we can do it by using time diversity, frequency diversity, space diversity, and polarization diversity. So any one diversity techniques I can use so that I can get the quality of the signal to be of very high and avoid fading and increase the signal to noise ratio there. So the high probability. So in this case we can see that all the signals are not going to fade simultaneously, and the deepest fades can be avoided there. So here it is going to provide, mainly when we go for diversity, we can provide protection against fading. So we are going to see the multiple antenna techniques, which can be grouped into roughly three different categories. One is diversity. So diversity is nothing but it is going to have a number of different versions of the signal to be transmitted, or it can be received, and it is going to provide a resilience against your fading techniques here. So it is going to see that the fading is going to be avoided to a greater extent by going for diversity techniques. So where I can transmit the number of signals at the transmit, different versions of the signals can be done at the transmitter and can be received at the receivers. Number of transmitters and receivers we are going to have. Next is interference suppression. So interference suppression is, if I am going to use a spatial domain, then in that case I can reject the interference from other users there. So by rejecting the interference from other users, it can be done either through the physical antenna gain pattern or other forms of your array processing can be used. So the array processing methods can be either a linear precoding, postcoding, or interference cancellation methods. Next is spatial multiplexing. So in spatial multiplexing, we are going to have two or more independent streams of the data are going to be sent simultaneously. So in the same bandwidth. So it is going to be sent simultaneously in the same bandwidth. Then I can see that I can increase the data rate. So mainly why we go for spatial multiplexing is the data streams are going to be sent to simultaneously in the same bandwidth there. So in that case, I can increase the data rate there. So here these are the different approaches which are going to be used in a multiple input, multiple output communication. Spatial diversity. So spatial diversity, as I said, will be having many copies of the transmitted signals. So with different effects of your fading when over the space there. So at we can use multi-antenna systems either at the transmitter side or at the receiver side, or both the places we can use multiple antennas there. So a spatial diversity mainly can be classified into four types. One is multi-input single output system. Next is single input multi-output system. Next is multi-input multi-output system. And last is multi-input multi-output multi-user system there. So here your spatial diversity, it is going to be exploited mainly by two or more antennas, where these two or more antennas is going to be separated by enough distance so that the fading of is going to be approximately removed, or it is going to be decorrelated between them there, between the antennas. So here in this case, where the advantage of going for spatial diversity is it don't require additional bandwidth or power is needed there. So in this we are going to have the spatial diversity is going to be limited by the need of your additional antennas. So the RF transmit or the receive chain, and the DSP signal processing which is going to be required to modulate or demodulate the multiple spatial streams. So the limitation is going to be by the need of additional antenna, RF transmit or receive chain, then the DSP signal processing techniques that we are going to use to modulate or demodulate the multiple spatial streams there. So when multiple antennas are going to be used, mainly we'll define two types of gain. One is array gain and the other one is going to be a diversity gain. So first we'll see about array gain. So array gain is nothing but a power gain of the transmitted signals. So the power gain of these transmitted signals is going to be achieved by using multiple antennas at the transmitter or the receiver with respect to single input single output case. So here we will be having your single input single output. That means that we are going to have multiple antennas at the transmitter and the receiver, and the power gains of these transmitted signals are going to be taken by using a multiple antennas at the transmitter and the receiver. It is called power gain. So the array gain is almost exactly proportional to the length of the array. So here in this case, number of antennas will be standard, and we are going to see what is going to be the length. Based on the length of the array, your array gain is going to be proportional there. So here we are going to provide the enhancement here. Enhancement of this gain is going to be done by combining the energies of each of these antennas to gain the advantage versus your the noise signal on each antenna. That is to improve the signal to noise ratio. What we are going to do is we are going to combine the energy. So the enhancement of the energy is going to be done by combining each energy of each antennas to gain, and then it reverses your noise signal on each antenna. Now we are going to see what is going to be the array gain for correlated channels. So here we are going to assume that the channels are going to be completely correlated. So completely correlated means we are going to assume in the case of line of sight system with closely spaced antennas. So the received signal to noise ratio is going to increase linearly with the number of received antennas there. So receive a number of receive antennas NR. So suppose I am going to take a system for NT cross NR system. The array gain is NR. Then which can be seen that for 1 cross NR as follows. For each antenna I, where it belongs to 1 comma NR, receives a signal that can be characterized as Yi is equivalent to the output of the ith antenna is equivalent to Hi into X plus Ni, where H is the response and X is going to be the input signal, N is going to be the noise of the signal. So where Hi is equivalent to H for all the antennas, because they are all perfectly correlated there. Hence, the signal to noise ratio on a single antenna is going to be given as signal to noise ratio is equivalent to H square by sigma square, where sigma square is going to be the noise power of each correlated path. If all the receive antenna paths are going to be added, and the resulting signal is going to be summation of all the outputs there. So Y is equivalent to summation I is equivalent to 1 to the number of receive antennas NR Yi, that is equivalent to NR into Hx plus summation I is equivalent to 1 to NR Ni. That is the summation of all the noise signals there. Now the array gain of uncorrelated channel is we are going to assume that the noise on each branch is going to be uncorrelated. So the signal to noise ratio is summation of N square NR H square by NR sigma square there. So what we are going to conclude is the received signal to noise ratio is going to increase linearly with the number of received antennas, even if those antennas are going to be correlated. Because the channels are all correlated, there is going to be no diversity gain. So next we are going to see diversity gain. So diversity gain is we are going to increase the signal to noise ratio. So how we are going to increase the signal to noise ratio is by using any one of the diversity scheme. And we are going to see that how by using the diversity scheme, we are going to see that how we are going to reduce the transmission power to increase, how the transmission power can be reduced when a diversity scheme is going to be introduced there. So here we should see that there is going to be no performance loss, high signal to noise ratio, and how much is going to be the transmission power that can be reduced. So it is going to be expressed in terms of decibels and as a power ratio. So here we are going to improve the communication reliability by decreasing the sensitivity to fading there. So the physical layer, which is going to be measured by the outage probability or average bit error rate there. So the bit error probability can be written for virtually any modulation scheme as bit error rate is equivalent to bit error probability is equivalent to C1 e power minus C2 gamma, where C1 and C2 are nothing but the constants which depend on the modulation type, and gamma is nothing but the received signal to noise ratio. So here we can see that the error probability is going to be exponentially decreasing with SNR. So if SNR is increasing, then automatically the error probability is going to decrease. The few instances in the fading channel when the received signal to noise ratio is low, it dominates the bit error probability there. Even modestly high SNR values have dramatically reduced bit error probability. Fading channel without diversity. So fading channel without diversity is your signal to noise ratio is going to become a random variable here. So when it becomes a random variable in the fading channel and the bit, so the now we are going to calculate what is going to be the bit error probability is also going to be a random variable. So the average bit error probability is going to decrease very slowly, and it can be written as PB is equivalent approximately C3 gamma minus 1, gamma power minus 1. So here in this case what we can conclude is the simple inverse relationship between the signal to noise ratio and the bit error probability is much weaker than a decaying exponential there. So here in this case we have, so reliability for it is going to be, which is going to result in terrible reliability for unmitigated fading channels there. So here it is going to have a severe impact on the fading channels. So next is we are going to see fading channel diversity. So the probability of all the uncorrelated channels are having low signal to noise ratio. So when it is going to have low signal to noise ratio, the diversity order is going to have a dramatic effect, that is PB is equal to C3 gamma power minus ND. So where it is going to depend on the system reliability. So with diversity, the average bit error probability improves to your PB is equal to C3 gamma power minus ND, where ND is nothing but the diversity order. So diversity order is going to be given by the number of transmit antennas into number of receive antennas. So for example, if I am going to take the bit error probability without any diversity is going to be 1 in 10. Then there is going to be a good bit error probability there. So suppose I am going to take a bit error probability with two antennas at both transmitter and at the receiver, it will be close to 1 in 10,000. So in this case the diversity gain is going to be very powerful. Next is we are going to increase the data rate with spatial diversity. So the Shannon capacity formula is going to be used, that is for to increase the data rate we need to know the capacity of the channel there. So for that we are going to use a Shannon capacity formula there, which is going to be used to achieve the maximum data rate of a single communication length in addition to your wide Gaussian noise. So here your channel capacity C is going to be given as B log 1 plus gamma to the base 2. So where C is going to be the capacity or the maximum error-free data rate. Then B is going to be the bandwidth of the channel, and gamma is again the signal to noise ratio there. So here your antenna diversity is going to increase signal to noise ratio linearly. So here diversity techniques is going to increase the capacity only logarithmically and with respect to the number of antennas we are going to have. So the data rate benefit is going to diminish as antennas are going to be added. So you should see that there is going to be a trade-off in the number of antennas what we are going to use there. So now when the signal to noise ratio is going to be low, the capacity increase is going to be close to linear to the signal to noise ratio. That is, we can approximate as log of 1 plus x is approximately x for small value of x. So if signal to noise ratio is going to be small, then in that case I can approximate it. So I can say that the capacity is going to be a linear one, close to the linear value of your signal to noise ratio. Hence in low signal to noise ratio channels, the diversity techniques is going to increase the capacity about linearly. But the overall throughput is already generally still poor because of the low signal to noise ratio there. So what we are going to conclude is we are going to say that the substantial data rate is going to increase at higher SNRs, and the multi-antenna channel can instead be used to send multiple independent streams. So spatial multiplexing, it is going to have the ability to achieve a linear increase in data rate with number of antennas at moderate to high signal to interference plus noise ratios. through the use of sophisticated signal processing algorithms. So in a system with NT transmit and NR receive antennas, we often known as your NT into NR. That is your spatial multiplexing system. So the peak data rate is going to be proportional to minimum NT comma NR. So here in this case, if you are going to have a system with NT transmit antennas and NR receive antennas, then the peak data rate is going to be proportional to minimum NT comma NR. Next is we are going to see about increased coverage or reduced transmit power. So our aim is the coverage area should be more and we should reduce the transmit power. So here the benefits of this diversity is mainly to increase the coverage area with reduced transmit power there. So the increase in coverage area due to spatial diversity we are going to see. So here we are going to assume that there are NR receive antennas and just one transmit antenna there. So due to the gain, the average signal to noise ratio is going to be approximately NR into signal to noise ratio, where gamma is nothing but the average signal to noise ratio per branch. So now we are going to consider the simplified path loss model, that is PR is equal to the received power is equal to PT, the transmitted power, into P naught into D power minus alpha. So we can find that the increase in coverage range is going to be NR power 1 by alpha. So the coverage area improvement is NR power 2 by alpha without even considering the diversity gain. So what we can conclude is the system reliability is going to be greatly enhanced even within the range extension there. So we are going to reduce the transmit power. So the required transmit power can be reduced by 10 log NR to the base 10 decibels while maintaining a diversity gain of NT into NR.